Hey everybody, coming at you again with another car review, this time of the Phoenician scheme. And as you know, those of you who follow me and have been with me for a while, I come out to the car and process a movie anyway. I love films, take films very deeply, so I like to think about them, and I thought, hey, why not think about it with all of you as well while thinking maybe you're thinking about seeing the films, and this could help you, could, whatever. I don't know. It's me processing. Like it, don't like it. Whatever. My mom thinks I'm funny, I guess. Phoenician scheme. I've had people asking me, like, hey, can you go see this and tell me what you think? And so what I would say to you, it's not the greatest Wes Anderson movie, and I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan. So first of all, obviously, to see a Wes Anderson movie, expect a Wes Anderson movie. For me, still, Royal Tenenbaums is my top. I loved Asteroid City, probably my second. I like this a lot. Not on the sense that it's, hey, I'm a movie snob, so I like all the, throwbacks to early film techniques, and, where he uses, like, From Earth to the Moon, and uses Eisenstein stuff, and on and on and on, right? Which he does beautifully. Like, this is a totally beautiful film, and it's a total great if you're a film person and you, again, love those early movie techniques from the early days of, like I said, From Earth to the Moon, or The Battleship Potemkin, or, name a film in the early days, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Joan of Arc, with kind of the frame-up shots and the way that people, camera pan on one face. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful film, and Wes Anderson always does a beautiful job, like, portraying these kind of wide-scoping places with deeper meaning. But the reason I really like this film is, obviously, right now in the world and where we're at, there's a lot of chaos, right? There's a lot of questions that have to be answered. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety, and Mickey 17 tried to conquer this kind of material, and it missed the mark because it was so heavy-handed in its satire. This is kind of a beautiful parable of the reality of boiling down the human situation of oligarchs who are trying to carve up the world into basically a game of Risk, where they see the world in terms of transaction and give and take, and it's the, well, to paraphrase, the art of the deal. And so they're dug in till they're not dug in, and it's them, and then everyone else in the world is just pawns in their game. But in the reality of it, in this parable, there's the search for redemption and understanding that the old expression, man plans and God laughs. So there's some religious connotations above it all, that no matter how much power you get, no matter how much land you get, no matter what you do, there's an end to everybody's power. And in the end, it just gets wiped away. And there's you and there's God, and you're going to have to answer for the things that you did and the opulence that you lived under. And it's kind of a beautiful parable of values, and in the end, what's left when you're left with nothing. Or what are you trading for? What are you trading your soul for in regards to these plans that you have and these projects and your immortality? And is your immortality on earth more important than your immortality in heaven? And so there's a very deep religious aspect to this, very spiritual aspect to it, played against two different casts. Of course, the cast of characters in this film, name a person. You've got Bryan Cranston, you've got Tom Hanks, you've got Benedict Cumberbatch, you've got... obviously, names are popping off my head because I'm trying to process all this at the same time as I go. So obviously Benicio del Toro, and on and on and on and on. Of the people, Michael Cera's brilliant. Jeffrey Wright's. it's great. So see it for the people, see it for the cast. It's its usual. Wes Anderson shows us these beautiful people with broken souls, as always, and he has such a loving grasp of all of his characters, no matter how broken. I think that's where Mickey 17 again missed the mark. Is there was no redeeming qualities to the characters that you were meant to hate. But Wes Anderson always was like, hey, here's these oddballs, here's these people who carved their own path or had their path carved from them from their own baggage in the past, and they've been made into this. And so there's a little bit of sympathy and understanding. And I think a lot of that gets played out. So like obviously in The Apprentice as well, if you saw that with Sebastian Stan, and kind of the making of President Trump with Roy Cohn. The parables of the reality of, again, man plans, God laughs. So if you're ready for that, if you feel like this is something, especially in light of the whole Trump-Elon Musk feud and what's happening with Palantir and Peter Thiel, and you have a lot of worry and anxiety about that, then this might be a good movie for you to go see. Just again for the spiritual message of the reality of the situation. I was seeing everything in such a microcosm rather than the macro view, if that makes sense to any of you. It's got a lot of deep meaning. So if you're looking for deep meaning, you're looking for kind of a spirituality, a spiritual awakening within Wes Anderson's movie, if you're looking for kind of a deeper truth of where we're at right now, hope, glass half full rather than glass half empty, then I would say go see The Phoenician Scheme. There's some laughs, obviously, there's quirkiness, there's some really brilliant lines in there that Benicio del Toro just coldly throws out there. So Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't even want to spoil like scene by scene breakdown. It's go see it if you're looking for those things. So that's where I'm at right now with my process.